Imagine losing one child, the heartbreak, the pain, the unimaginable grief. Now imagine losing 9, not over a lifetime, but one after the other, over 14 years. In a quiet town in New York, the Tinning family became a place where tragedy was a constant guest. Neighbors called Marybeth the perfect mom, doting, attentive, the kind of woman who seemed to live for her children. But behind closed doors, tragedy after tragedy struck. Doctors said it was sudden infant death syndrome. Others thought it was simply horrible luck. But the truth was far darker, a secret hidden deep in the heart of motherhood itself. What would drive a mother to lose 9 children in her care? Could it really be misfortune? Or was something far more sinister at play? Welcome to GBR Life Transmissions. I'm your host, Caitlin, and you're listening to GBR Life of Crimes, where we explore not just what happened in crimes committed by women, but why they happened and the psychology behind them. Today, we're unpacking the haunting case of Marybeth Tinning, a mother whose story forces us to question everything we thought we knew about grief, motherhood, and evil. Marybeth Rowe was born in 1942 in New York, a small working-class town where everyone knew everyone's business. From the outside, her childhood looked unremarkable. Inside the family home, though, the picture was different. Marybeth would later say her father was strict and sometimes cruel, that he once locked her in a closet for punishment. Whether every detail was true or exaggerated, we know she grew up feeling lonely, overlooked, and just unloved. In school, she blended into the background. No awards, no big moments, but Marybeth noticed something about the world at that time, that when bad things happened, people paid attention. They brought food, offered sympathy, and they treated you like you mattered. That craving for validation, the hunger to be noticed, well, it became part of her. And in 1965, she married Joseph Tinning, a quiet man in the military who didn't push too hard against her moods or her version of reality. Soon after, she began building what she thought would be the perfect life, a home full of children. Over 14 years, Marybeth gave birth to 8 biological children and adopted 1 more. A bustling household, the kind where there was always laundry to fold and bottles to wash and a baby crying in the next room. To the outside world, Marybeth seemed devoted, but motherhood, with its constant demands, brought back that familiar feeling she carried since childhood, that she wasn't enough, she wasn't special, and in Marybeth's mind, tragedy had a way of changing that. And in December of 1971, just one day after Christmas, baby Jennifer, only a few weeks old, fell ill. Doctors diagnosed her with meningitis. Within 24 hours, she was gone. The community mourned with the Tinnings. Friends dropped off casseroles. Neighbors stopped by with flowers, and Marybeth soaked in every condolence, every moment of attention, and something must have clicked. There it was, the attention, everything she needed. And then just 6 weeks later, tragedy struck again. 2-year-old Joseph Jr. He was rushed to the hospital, unconscious. He didn't survive. 2 children gone in 2 months. The whispers started, but they were quickly silenced by compassion. How could anyone even think to accuse a grieving mother? Over the next decade, it kept happening. 5-month-old Timothy, 4-year-old Mary Frances, 4-month-old Jonathan, their adopted son Michael, and finally, baby Tammy Lynn in 1985. 9 children gone. Each time, Marybeth was front and center at the funeral, weeping, clutching photos, telling friends how empty her arms felt. Each time, the sympathy poured in, and each time, she seemed to need more. In the 1970s and early 80s, medical understanding of SIDS was starting to develop. It was rare for multiple cases to happen in one family, but not considered impossible. And there was another factor, a deep cultural reluctance to believe a mother could harm her own child. Marybeth knew this, and she used it. So in December of 1985, when Tammy Lynn died, doctors noticed something they hadn't in previous deaths: tiny spots in her eyes and her mouth, consistent with suffocation. This time, police got involved. During questioning, Marybeth's calm began to crack. She admitted to smothering some of her children, not all, she claimed, because she couldn't handle the crying and because she wasn't a good mother. And those words coming from the woman that this community had felt sorry for decades sent shockwaves through the town. And in 1987, Marybeth went on trial for the murder of Tammy Lynn. Prosecutors kept the case simple, focusing on one death instead of trying to prove all 9. Her defense claimed her confession was coerced, that she had been emotionally worn down during questioning, but the jury didn't buy it. Marybeth was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years to life. So what was really going on inside of Marybeth's mind? Many experts believe she had Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a disorder where a caregiver harms those that they care for to gain sympathy and attention. Others point to unresolved childhood trauma, deep insecurity, and a need to control her environment, especially when she felt powerless in other areas of her life. Every death brought her the same thing she'd been missing since childhood: attention, care, and the role of the victim. And that reward loop can be powerful and deadly. So was Marybeth pure evil, or was she the product of a broken system that failed to spot the warning signs after 9 children died? Could they have found out by child number 3 or 4? And how did a community, a family, and a medical system allow all of them to die before anyone even stepped? Was it ignorance, blind trust, or a collective refusal to see what was right in front of them? The questions were there, but nobody asked. Marybeth's case forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the person we trust the most, the person we think could never hurt us, is the one holding the pillow. Marybeth Tinning was released on parole in 2018 after serving 31 years. She passed away the following year at 77 years old. To the end, she denied harming most of her children. And her story remains one of the most haunting examples of maternal homicide in American history. And it's a reminder that darkness doesn't always look like we expect it to. This has been GBRLIFE of Crimes, part of GBRLIFE Transmissions, and I'm Caitlin, reminding you that darkness helps us appreciate the light. Join me next time as we uncover another case that challenges everything we thought we knew about the criminal mind.